fellow Peanuts fans, I'm Karen from CollectPeanuts.com, and today I'm here to talk to you about this picture. First, let's show you when I got it. There it is. The most amazing treasure ever. Or possibly something nice to go on the wall. We'll find out. There it is. So I bought this at auction, not quite knowing what it was. It kind of looked like a real strip. But according to the back, which I couldn't see in the auction, it says, copy of original. Oh. But the good news is, I didn't pay a ton of money for it. So I got the next best thing to having the original, which is a really nice copy. That's just my luck. Oh. Look pretty close. Now the reason I bought this picture, wall art, was because I was really hoping that this was an original Charles Schulz drawing, but unfortunately it isn't. For the price I paid, it would have been an amazing steal, like the deal of the century, especially for a Peanuts fan. Luckily I paid wall art prices for this, not Schulz original prices for this, because if you've been following the price of an original Schulz Peanuts comic strip, they can get pretty pricey, enough to buy you a nice luxury sports car when you get a Sunday strip like this. But instead I just have this nice wall art, which, you know, may be the closest I ever get to owning a real Schulz. So, what threw me off? This masthead, that was the biggest indicator that I had that this might be the real deal. Original Schulz strips, Schulz would draw this masthead once, duplicate it using a machine, you know, photocopier, and then just paste it into whatever comic strip he was doing. That way you would have a very consistent masthead. It wouldn't change from week to week or strip to strip. Just that real consistent look you really want with a comic strip. Make it look professional. And the other thing that threw me off was the size. This is the size of an original Peanuts comic strip, or at least very close to it. So between this and the size, I was pretty convinced maybe it was an undiscovered Schulz. I was wrong. The photos I had were terrible, the description was terrible, but they obviously knew what they had, because on the back here it says copy of original. So if you have the original, please reach out, let me know. Maybe you know how this photocopy got made. I have not been able to figure out where the original is. So there might be a story behind this. It might be something interesting behind this photocopy. It probably won't make it worth more than what I paid for it, but it would be interesting to know how somebody was able to photocopy this. And you need a very large photocopier. So there's some very good indicators that this was not the real deal. And the big one is the color of the paper. Now you can see this mat board, it's nice and white, And you can see the paper here. It's also nice and white. But this comic strip is from 1956. So you would expect with paper from 1956 to be at least a little bit yellowed and maybe some more foxing, you know. This is really yellowed over the years. So why hasn't the rest of this started yellowing? So that was a big indicator that made me only want to pay wall art prices for this particular comic strip. Other things in here that can help you determine if it's the real deal, like down here there would have been a copyright info that would have been pasted on here just like this. So that would have been there. You've got a date down here, and that's a good indicator that it's an original. Plus, there's a faint fold line in the middle that might be an indicator. I don't know. Like I've never seen an original Schulz in person real close up to really just drink it all in. All I have is the internet to look at, so maybe someday I'll be able to get real close. You can also see between the panels that the original strip must have had white out to just clean up those lines a little bit. You'll often see, you know, some corrections, some minor pencil marks on the originals, just because that's the nature of art. And if you're not going to see it in the reproduction when it gets printed in the newspaper, then there's no need to like start from scratch, especially when you need to create 7 comic strips in a week, and one of them is basically, this is more like 3 or 4 in one day. The other thing you want to see in the original is, you can see like in Linus's shorts here, where the blacks aren't just completely flat. There's a little bit of modulation to them from when they were inked. Because when that gets reproduced, then you're going to lose that depth of color, and it's just going to be a black and a white. So yeah, if you're getting an original Schulz, you actually want it to be a little dirty. That's how you know you got the real deal. Well, I hope you've enjoyed looking at my beautiful Peanuts wall art today. Be sure to join us on Patreon, where I'll tell more of the story, where I got it, how much I paid for this lemon. No, it's lovely, even though the frame's a little damaged, but what are you gonna do? I'll hide it with Snoopy stuff. And you can find a link to Patreon down below in the description, along with links to all of our other social channels, and CollectPeanuts.com, where you'll find lots of resources for collectors just like you. Thanks for watching. Bye!